I'm Larry Menti. Welcome back to the Delaware Way. We're joined by Jerry Daley, who is the executive director of the High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area. That's a mouthful, by the way, which now includes Delaware and specifically Newcastle County, and you're in charge of that. And when we came out of the first segment, I talked about the fact that federal money is now coming to Delaware, and that'll be a huge deal, or at least it should be. But now that Newcastle County is working with the federal government, does it work the other way too? Is it important that you have resources here so you can report back and break up a network that is much bigger than just this area?
We are very much proponents of information sharing within the law enforcement community and beyond just the regional efforts that occur in one HIDTA. There's 28 HIDTAs around the country.
And this facilitates that, right?
This facilitates that process immensely. As an example, just this past week, very nearby, Chester County, Pennsylvania, received an award for an outstanding investigative effort that they did with the Lemus organization that had tentacles to 4 different states and the nation of Mexico, a Mexican drug cartel. The information that they generated during the course of the local investigation that was impacting areas around Kennett Square and Avondale and places like that leaked on over to communities throughout the country and are still developing leads. So those kind of cases are the ones that we tend to focus on, the mid-level and upper-level drug trafficking organizations. At the same time, the plan here in Newcastle County, specifically Wilmington, is to address also the problem that's acutely affecting the neighborhoods in the area here by going after the gangs and going after the fugitives, as well as the drug trafficking organizations.
Why is that important to fighting the drug trafficking, going specifically after the gangs and specifically after the fugitives? Are they inherently involved in this?
At some level, pretty much all gang activity has a relationship to drug trafficking activity and vice versa in a lot of communities. Fugitives that are wanted on various crimes typically are involved in a multitude of crimes. They're wanted, say, on a robbery charge, but they may also be involved in drug dealing or some other related offense. So we do look to address this in a holistic approach from the law enforcement perspective. And the information that's generated during these investigations tends to build synergies that we wouldn't have otherwise.
There's been a crisis here in Wilmington for some time, for years now. Why is this just happening?
I think sometimes communities as a whole, not specifically Newcastle County or Wilmington, but communities as a whole don't want to be labeled a high-intensity drug trafficking area. I'm sure real estate agents were probably wincing when the announcement was made. But at the same time,
I think they're past that now, to tell you the truth, Jerry.
At the same time, those folks come to realize that, hey, the way out of the problem is to address the thing now. You don't let the fire burn. We call the fire department. And that's essentially what's been going on.
That's
now.
A great analogy, and I think exactly what you're talking about has happened for too long in Wilmington and Newcastle County. They were hoping the problem would just be fixed, and it's not fixed, so I think they welcome you. I don't think anybody's saying, oh no, they're going to give us a bad reputation. The reputation's been tarnished, and so I think they're hoping on your success. How long? When do you expect to see success?
We are not a silver bullet for this problem. This is a long-term strategy. We measure it over years and multiple years, how we're proceeding, how we're dealing with this. We hope to certainly have a big impact in our first year of HIDTA designation here so that we can at least put a lid on the crime that's being committed and the drug trafficking that's going on in the region. But it's a multi-year approach, and it's a multi-pronged approach, as I said. I mean, this will not operate by itself effectively. We need the partners in the prevention and treatment side as well.
Well, we are all pulling for you.
Well, we sure hope it's going to be a good success in the first year, nonetheless.
I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Jerry Daley, the Executive Director of the High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area. Philadelphia, Camden, it now includes Newcastle County, so maybe finally something can get done here. We'll be right back.